Okay, we are here. Okay, so at least the thing that was going wrong on this live already happened. I forgot to plug my charger on my computer and it basically turned off. But we're here. Hi. Now I have to like reset up everything because the computer turned off. But yeah, how is everyone? I actually set up my alarm this time. Yay, thank you. Okay, let's see if my internet it's okay today. Because it has been not good at all. Well, this happens often, unfortunately. Oh well, today we are going to be doing some new enamel pins, finally. I'm still trying to figure out which ones I'm going to be doing. Like I was trying to look into some things that I had here. I also wanted to do a book one, but we'll see how that goes. I already did like a selection. So let me just put them on my iPad and then we can start making them. Here. Okay, I'm going to add them here and then... Oh no, it's already saying that I don't have enough internet. Can you hear me okay? Am I like... Let me check if I can decrease the quality of the video. Otherwise, I'll just use the webcam, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Sounds perfect. Okay, is the video like lagging or is it okay? I'd love to know how you pick up your supplies for that. I designed one for my kids who is a mascot. I don't have like any supplies. I just do everything on the iPad and in Photoshop. Alive isn't alive without tech problems. True. Always. Okay, right now I'm good. Okay, perfect. It's just YouTube making me nervous because like a pop-up appears every time like the internet is kind of lagging. A pop-up appears saying that there's not enough internet to send out video, but away. I do have my suppliers on my Patreon. I share that in there. But I always advise you to look into Alibaba and search for your own suppliers because what is good for me might not be good for someone else. And sometimes the quality differs a lot. So I really advise you to try someone out because my supplier might change the quality like all of a sudden and then I advised you on something and then it's not good. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, let me grab some images here to try out for pins. I want to do a pigeon for sure. I want to do the magical cat. I was thinking about the tulip stamp as well. Then I need to figure out like the sizes and I might... Today we're going to do like the line art, but I might have to do line art again because depending on the size and resizes and all of that, it might depend. I really want to do a capybara as well. So I'm just going to add this one here. And then we'll figure that out. And I want to do a tulip one, which is already a lot of them. pins are very, very expensive. It's not the pins itself, it's the mold that you also have to pay. And I already did the first pins that I already did them more than 2 years ago. So now that I'm doing a restock of them, I actually need to pay for the molds again. I need to get into your Patreon. I've been meaning to do for a while. I haven't done it yet. Goal for this week. Do you have any tips on finding good suppliers? I never reach out to anybody or on there, and I don't know if maybe there's a particular way to go about that or something special to look for. Just go about as you would go for like all the other online shopping that you do. Try to, like, you can search, when you search for like custom enamel pins, let's say like on Alibaba, you can see which companies are for each product. Always ask for minimum order quantity because I feel like that's important. Normally like 50, I think it's like the minimum normally. And then you can see the actual evaluation that people leave to that company specifically. You can see how long they have been working, or at least on Alibaba, always look for a company that had some years of experience. And you can also see like the reviews and something and stuff. So always look into that when you are searching for that. But I would say years of experience, reviews, and like you can see the name of the company as well. Maybe you can do like a Google search or on Instagram and see if they are legit. But normally on Alibaba, if you pay through Alibaba, sometimes suppliers will try to send you through email, but at least for the first time that you're ordering from them, always order from Alibaba because you have protection, like payment protection. So if something goes wrong, they'll give you the money back. So it's kind of a more safer platform than to just find suppliers like online randomly. I love you, capybara. Thank you. Oi, olá, Cláudia. I'm so glad I was able to catch this live. Hope it's a similar photo to your earrings. We're going to witness it shrinking in real life. No, this is actually one of the products that I manufacture. So I do the design and everything. I actually have some samples in here that I wanted to show you. Okay, let me show you what I mean. I haven't done them in a while. I'm also going to do a bee, but I don't think I have the bee in here. So this is what we are going to do today. These pins. I'm probably doing a redrawing of this pin because now I use a different berry. So I might, oh, I also want to do the frog. Wait. To grab the frog, and then I also have my little mountain in here. So this is what we are going to draw. I actually draw them on the iPad, and then sometimes my supplier accepts non-vector art, but if needed I just use Illustrator to transform them into vector. And then I have to select the colors as Pantones because that's how they work with the colors. So sometimes I add one color on Procreate, and then afterwards on Photoshop I have to select the color like the most similar to the Pantones that I have. And I do all of that online. I don't have any Pantone colors like physically or anything. But yeah, that's basically it. This is the final product we are looking for, and it's one of the few that I actually manufacture. So that's what we are going to do. I'm just doing a selection of the things I want to do. Like I want to do this frog. And where's the berry that I want? Wait. I had another frog, but I actually like this one. And I was even thinking about maybe doing a set of like mini pins. I think that would be fun as well. Maybe with the tulip. Okay, I'm going to copy and we're going to paste on there, and then I'll show you my iPad. It's looking like a mess right now, but we're getting there. No. Oh well, I'll do that design later. It's fine. Okay, let me show you the iPad. Now everything is looking a little... Okay, can you hear me now? Sorry. This went all over the place because everything was set up, but since the computer turned off in the beginning of the live, now everything, it's all over the place. Sorry. Hi, Sofia. Hola. Sorry. Okay, I'm just trying to connect the live here with the iPad. It's not working. Okay, I'm just going to turn all off and see if then I can find it. Just going to disconnect and connect the iPad again via USB, and then we'll see. You should be able to hear me now, I hope. Now it just looks weird because I'm trying to connect the iPad to here, but if not, I'm just going to grab the webcam. It's not recognizing the iPad. Why? Okay, just going to try one more time, and otherwise I'm just going to connect the camera, and then you can still see me drawing because it's not even asking if I want to connect. with the iPad or not. So yeah, I don't think it's going to work. So yeah, I'm just going to put a camera, an extra camera in here, and then I think you'll be able to see me draw. Let's see if we can do this or not. Why is there something going wrong? No, this won't work. Now you can see anything. I promise I'm trying to do something. Okay, I think I'm just going to grab the webcam. Just 1 second. This one might be easier. Lots of cables, lots of cables. The iPad was doing fine. I don't know why it's not working now. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me add the webcam now. Okay, this way you'll be able to see me draw, even though you won't be directly on the iPad. I think it's going to work still. Ah. If this is the first live you're seeing from me, this is what you get, basically. All tech issues and all of that. Okay, I won't be able to connect the iPad because it's not working now, but at least you can still see the iPad, so it's fine. Yay! We got it. We found the solution. Yeah. Okay, anyway, let me just bring my very confusing thing over here. So basically this is the idea that I have for the pins. This is the pins that I want to do. So I'll do a restock of the mountain. This is just over here for me to compare the size for this pin compared to this one, and also the thickness of the lines, because I really, really like the thickness of these lines, and my manufacturer also can make them like very, very thin, which I love. So at least we have like a comparison in size and the thickness of the lines. And most of them I think are going to be gold, because I really like gold. So I think we can do the capybara first. I'm just going to take this ones out so it's not as messy. Let's pick up the capybara and maybe just a little bit bigger. I'll just try to like compare, because I'm going to compare with the height of the mountain. So I want maybe the capybara to be like this, so a little bit more height than the mountain over here. Maybe like this, and then we can adjust later on Photoshop with measurements and all of that. Sometimes the easier solution is the best. Yes. But it's, I'm mad because everything was working perfectly. This was like the first time that I had everything like perfectly set up. And then, of course, I forgot to plug my charger. Anyway, I'm just going to go over here. I think I'm just going to do with like black first. Just trying to figure out like a thickness, because I actually think for the outline this is a little bit too thin for me. So I'm going to do it a little bit thicker. So I just want to compare like the thickness of it, because I don't want it to be too thick, otherwise the pin has to be big. and I don't want that. And then we still have like the eye and everything, so yeah. And then sometimes I also have to change it because my manufacturer will say, okay, this line is way too thin for the size of this pin and it's not going to work. So sometimes it's a little bit of a back and forth, and that's why I postponed doing pins for so long, because it's a lot of work. It takes a long time and it's a big investment. So yeah. At least it looks cool and artistic now with 2 screens and angles. Yes, we are professionals now. Next week I also want to have like a fancier screen, but if I have a fancier screen and then nothing works, it doesn't matter. Was it better for you had to reboot? Yeah, you could see like the iPad screen on your screen instead of me being filming the iPad. So it was a little bit better, at least for you watching. No, it's just not connecting to the iPad because my MacBook is a MacBook Air and I only have 2 USBs things. I want to get a MacBook Pro eventually to have a little bit more option regarding the USB things. I think for the iPad to be recognized through OBS and through Quick Starter and stuff, it has to be directly connected to the computer and not my connecting thing. Anyway, let's see if this line, it might be a little too thick. Okay, I'm going to do it thinner and then my manufacturer can let me know if it's too thin or not. Otherwise I might have to change the little paws, but I really like the paws from the capybara. So basically what I'm drawing right now, am I using a different layer? Yes, I am. It's just the outlines. So basically enamel pins work. You do the outlines and then the color is added inside the outlines, and anything that is not inside the outlines, it's called screen printing, which is this little mouth over here. And then for every color of screen printing, you pay extra. So I have 3 colors for this little mouth and I pay extra for it, but I think it's worth it because it just makes it so cute. But basically you have to add outlines to everything, and then you add colors inside the outlines, if that makes sense. And that's how they add the coloring to the pin itself. Basically that is it. I think I have a tutorial from a while ago regarding pins. I'm not sure, maybe I have to do a different one now that I'm making new ones. Maybe that will help, because I feel like pins a few years ago, there was a lot more artists making them. I feel like they were like some sort of more popular, but within, like, they are still popular, especially at conventions and markets and stuff, but a lot more artists were like trying them out, so there was a lot more information regarding pins. But I feel like now it stopped a little bit. It's not as like kind of trend, I guess. So now a lot of people that start with pins get a little bit lost in finding information because the videos might be older. So maybe I need to do an updated version. I'm not sure. Let me know if you would enjoy that regarding pins, how to find manufacturers, screen printing, soft enamel versus art enamel, and all of that. I'm trying the lines to be as straight as possible because this is going to be the pin itself. Okay, I think I'm going to do for the oranges with the same thickness, and then I'm going to add a little bit more thin parts to like the little details and stuff. I'm going to do the leaves a little bit bigger like this, and I think it might be nice to add the little orange part to be in gold as well. Okay, no, might not work. I'm going to do the leaves first because otherwise it will be too tight in there, and then I'm going to add the little thing. Is this going to work? We'll see. And now I can add the rest of it. It looks weird. I might add it on top maybe, because I don't like to have like too much small spaces within the pins, because it looks weird and it might be a little bit more expensive. Is this okay? Let's see. I think it looks okay. Personally, I definitely would, because that's something I already designed. I just don't know how to go forward with. I'm trying to fundraise for my daughter's cheerleading expenses this week. You can always sell like, okay, let me save this size. Oh, I don't know if there's a name for it in English. Just like tickets as like I don't know the name for it. Kind of like a contest, you know, where people can buy tickets. We do that a lot for like schools and stuff. People buy tickets and then they can get a prize in the end. That might be a good idea to fundraise for that. Maybe a bit thinner. Okay, that looks nice. Now you can also add the little nosies, the little mouths, and now the eye. I'm not sure if I'm going to do screen printing. I'm going to try my best to not do screen printing, because screen printing makes the pin very, very expensive. I'm going to try to see how it looks. Let me grab other pins that I have in there to see if how I did the eyes. Okay, they don't look bad. So for the frog, I did them like this, but I actually really like how I did it for the mouse. So basically I did them, I don't know if you can see because it's so tiny. But yeah, I think I'm going to be doing that. So basically I only did one color. I didn't do like the dark part. So just like this. And then I added the little shine in gold as well. I think that looks nice. Okay, let's remove this, and this is the pin, and this looks so crooked. Is this okay? That's okay. Oh, that looks cute. Maybe the eye can be a bit, just a tiny bit more thicker on the inside. like this. I think that would be cute. Okay, so now I'm just going to maybe already add some colors, and then in the end on Photoshop I'll just select them accordingly to Pantone colors basically. Perhaps the cheek would look good as a screen print. We can try that. I never did the cheeks with screen printing. So just an example, for each color, I think, okay, so this pin has 3 screen printing colors. It's also a little bit bigger than my berry, but because of the screen printing, I think it's 6 or 8 times more expensive. So I might ask for the, we can add the color, and then I'll just decide afterwards if it's worth it or not to do the screen printing. I can do it like this. Oh, why is this so crooked? Okay, let's set this to reference. And now I believe we can add the colors. Yes. Yay. The colors I'm doing here might change a lot because of the Pantone. Basically, Pantone is a specific set of colors that most manufacturers use because they are standard and they are always the same color all over the world because they have codes and everything. So they use Pantone colors so that my color that I want, it's going to be exactly the same that the color they are going to use. And then I'm going to need to go into Photoshop, check the Pantone colors closer to the colors that I'm using, and then change into Pantone. So I don't know if you can see, but the colors that I chose for this one are very, very different from the colors that I did like on the initial drawing, because yeah, there wasn't like Pantone colors for that. So might be a bit tricky, especially normally for like oranges, yellows, it can be a bit tricky because of that. So I'm just going to do simpler colors, and then we'll have to change them anyway, so. And normally having as much colors doesn't change the pricing too much. It changes if I use like very, very small spaces, or if I have some cuts or something like that, that might change the pricing as well. And I'm trying my best to not use like a lot of different colors so that the manufacturing process, it's easier as well. Here I'm not sure. I think it's maybe an off-white for the clouds, but we'll use a white. And then the capybara eye color, it's like a very pretty blue, so we'll do that as well. Yay, that looks nice. Now let's pick up this kind of goldish color so we can see like closer to the final result, I guess. Maybe a little bit darker. Okay, this will be our pen. Oh, it looks cute. Okay, without the cheek also looks cute, but I kind of like it with the cheek. So I might have to ask like for one screen printing color how much that will be. Because I think it will be a nice touch to the pin, I guess. Yay, but we finally made a new pin. I'm so happy. Okay, I'm very excited to do the tulip one, so I think that is going to be next. So I'm just going to save this in a little folder. And we're going to, oh, I don't need this capybara anymore. So we can move this to here. I think this will be a nice size because I think the maximum size that I did was for the mouse, and I think it's a little bit too big for a pin because normally people use it on coats or bags or something, and it might be a little bit heavier, and sometimes for smaller bags this might be a little bit too big. So I kind of like the smaller pins. So yeah. Capybara and your bunny artwork are my favorites. Thank you. It's actually quite funny because online I got a lot more bunny orders, but it's one of the worst sellers at conventions and art markets, so it's actually quite funny. But I love it. Okay, I think for this one, like a similar size would be nice. I think so too. Okay, so for this pin, I might have to change the design. So I don't know if you can tell, like this part and this part and this tiny part over here, they are basically cuts that they have to make in the mold, and they make the mold a little bit more expensive. So I'm going to try to put this tulip like this so that I don't have this cutting line over here. To make it more expensive. So I think these are like very specific things that only when you start making pins you realize that makes it so much more expensive. So instead of doing the design exactly how it is here, I change it a little bit so that it's not as expensive but still looks cute. So I might even maybe change the design over here so that we can see how it looks. So something like this. Yep. And then for here, I'm going to do maybe just a flower, it's enough. Like this. Maybe I can even add like more leaves or something so it's not like this as much, but it's going to make it a lot cheaper. Maybe we can bring this a little bit more down. Kind of like this. And now we can do kind of like this. Maybe thicker so it's not as thin because that can influence the pin as well. Maybe here it will fill up with the grain too. This might be thicker as well. And this one as well. Just making this changes on the drawing is already going to make it so much easier when creating the line art and everything. Okay, like this. This one goes like this. Maybe I can add some more leaves over here. Kind of like this. Maybe a little bit smaller. So it looks a little bit more full, you know. Like this. Yep. Okay, let's go to the line art as well. We're going to use black as well, so it just makes it easier. And just a little bit more thicker than this for the outside line art. Yeah, I think that's good. We are on a different layer, always checking because I had way too many times that I finished like a full thing. Okay, I need to change this. Oh, not what I want. I need to go to stabilization. I think this is the one, and add some streamline. Yep. So that the lines are not as jittery. I think they'll make it easier, yep, to draw. And I really want this to be like very girly and gold and pink. This is one of my like best sellers as a keychain. So I really want to put that into a pin. And with the keychain part is gold. So I think it's going to be very, like a very nice combination. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't have enough. Let me add a bit more. Yeah, now it's good. And I might add like slightly different colors for each of the like parts of the flowers. I think that's going to be cool as well. Like add different reds from this part to the parts below or something. It's going to be very, very cool. And I think I want the bow to be fully gold. I think that'll be very, very cute, but let's finish the outlines first. Just going to do the outlines, and then the insides, I'm just going to do them a little bit thinner, I think. Maybe, I'm not sure. This is going to be a little bit more straight on the computer because I'm going to add them as vectors probably. So I'm not too worried about them getting a little bit crooked because I can always make them a little bit better afterwards. Okay, let's do the below part. They are a bit thicker than they were, so that's why I'm not doing them entirely above them. So, okay, let's do the bow now. I'm just going to use a different layer so it's not as messy. Okay, can I maybe add, I might have to ask my manufacturer if I can still add some indentations on the gold, because I don't want it to be like a full to the kind of bow. I would also want to have more details, so I might ask about that. Ah, what did I do? Is it not closed? Where is it open? Hello? It's closed. Why is it not working? Is it because I had a reference on? Yep, that was why. You see, like this is going to be fully gold, but I still want to have like some details about the bow itself. So I might ask if I can do like some indentations on the gold. We'll see. Kind of like, yeah. Like something like this, you know? So that at least you could see like the details. I don't know. I might ask and see how that goes. I'm just going to do some thinner lines like this. Just to add a little bit more details. That is going to look super cute. Let me put this in gold so we can see it. I'm just going to remove this now. It's going to be so pretty. That is going to be a beautiful pin. Thank you. I think so too. I think the gold with the pink, it's going to be very, very pretty. Okay, let me just grab some of the pinks and stuff. And some of the greens as well. Okay, so now we're going to make this a reference. We're going to add a new layer. I also wanted the greens to have some sort of like difference between them, so you can tell like what's like up and down, you know? So it's not all the same green. But I know this is going to be hard to do in terms of tone. This color, it's this Pantone, so it is a bit tricky. Yeah. Oh, what is happening? Of course, the colors are going to be a little bit better on Photoshop as well. This is just like a little tryout. And then I always send only the line art, but with the colors on a different like file, because they only care about the line art and then they'll add the colors themselves, so it doesn't have to be perfect either. These reds are not going to be easy on Pantones. They might have to be maybe a little bit more muted or something, but we'll figure that out after. This is what I meant about like the leaves being different colors. I think that'll be cute. Maybe this one can be darker. Yay. Okay, I might have to simplify a little bit the leaves and stuff. But at least for now, I think it looks cute. And I also want to get pricing first before making any changes. Because, yeah, sometimes it might not work. I think having these things here is going to make it a lot more expensive. And maybe doing the indentations on the thing, kind of like this, you know, it's going to make it a little bit more expensive as well. So we'll see, but it looks super cute, so I'm happy with it. This is also just to have an idea of, like, see them as pins, and then I won't be able to do them all, so I can look at them and see, I think this is going to be a lot better than this one, and then we can decide which ones I'm going to manufacture, because I have too many designs that I want to do and I won't be able to do them all. So yeah. Okay, let's do the magic cat. I'm super excited about this, and I actually want this magic cat to be my first glitter pin ever. I want the cape to be glitter, so I think that'll be very, very cute. So the blue and the yellow and the little hat to be glittery. I think it'll be very, very cute. I'm not sure how that is going to look. It's going to be my first one ever, but I'm excited about it. Okay, let's do the line art. Hi! May have to rewatch later as I missed the beginning. You missed nothing. It's just tech issues and everything going wrong, so don't worry about it. Oh well. You're here now. That's what matters. I already did 2 new pins like this. These are not like the final one still. And the reason why I'm doing the iPad like this, it's because we had tech issues and my computer wasn't recognizing my iPad. So this is what we did to get it on. So yeah. Okay, let's start with the little cat. And I've done this little cat for maybe, I think, 2-3 years ago, and it's still one of my favorite designs. I love it so much. Should we do the tassels? Maybe. In like gold? Oh, I think that'll be nice. I might have to decrease the opacity for this one. Maybe I can draw in gold, because otherwise I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, I forgot to turn off the reference again. Okay. Reference off. Yeah, let's just draw in the gold color, because drawing with a gray on top of a gray, I'm not seeing a thing, so it's not working very well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this one in gold. I might actually change it to be like a nickel or something, like a darker color, because I think it will be very, very cute with the gray of the fur and everything, but I have to try that out because I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy the gold with the yellow flowers, but for try that out, I have to ask for the metal options so that then I can do that. Because you can always change, like I'm doing gold because I really like gold, but normally you also have rose gold, you have like a blackish color, you have silver, sometimes you even have like holographic and stuff. So there's a lot of options you can go to, but I've always made them gold. I think I only did one silver, and it was the raccoon one. And it looks great. Like, I love it because it matches the colors, and I think if I did it with gold, it would look weird, so I might change that for the cat as well. Just doing the more important lines with a thicker line, and then we'll do the rest with a thinner one as well. Okay, let's use a thinner one now. Is this too thin? Maybe this one. Okay. Okay, we have the little nose. Let's do the eyes. And I think we're going to do the same as we did for the other ones. So we're just going to draw like this. He has very big eyes. Let's see how this looks. It might be a bit too big. Maybe do it like this. Okay, let's try that now. Yeah, I think that looks nicer. And maybe just make them a tiny, tiny, smaller. Cute. Okay, this one. The wizard cat might make stars stand out more, separate colors. Yes, exactly. I think with the gold and yellow stars, it might look a little bit weird. So yeah, I'm going to ask for the colors that they have for the metal parts, and then I'll try that out when I can. Okay, so I think for the eyes, it looks okay. Let's just do the little stars. But we'll also try it and see how it looks. Because also the stars in the Pantone might be a little bit more orangey. So it might look okay. You know what? I could also make the stars gold. And then the cape, the blue thing, glitter. That might work as well. Oh, I forgot a little line right here. I forgot this one, this one. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, let's see with the colors. I think that might be a good idea to make them gold. Okay, let's try it out. We'll do it in a different layer. I then might try on Photoshop, but I think it will look cute, and then I can make it gold because I always prefer the pins to be gold. I don't know why, I think it just adds something to it. Okay, so how can you ask to choose to have glitter colors? I think the glitter, they just add it to the color itself, so it has to be, it can be the Pantone plus the glitter, because I asked for like the techniques that I had. Like I sent them an email and I said, I'm ready to place an order with you again. They let me know that my molds, or like they don't have my molds anymore, so I'm going to have to pay for my molds again. And that's why I might do the berry redraw, because I would have to pay for the molds again. And then I asked for the techniques that they have right now. They said they have like glow in the dark and all those things, glitter. So I think they just add the glitter on top, like as an epoxy or something, or mixed with the colors. I might have to ask that because I never did glitter before, but I think they just add it to the Pantone itself. I'm not sure. I had to ask about that. But that's basically it. You just ask the manufacturer which techniques they have. A few years ago, I wanted to do my mango one, and I even asked if they could do like a dégradé kind of thing, because my mango goes from like green to red and yellow and stuff, and they could even do that, but the pin would be very, very expensive, so that's why I didn't do it. But you can always ask like what techniques they have, and like how can you do them. Basically, they said they could do glitter, and I didn't even ask how am I going to do that. But yeah, I just going to have to ask if it's specific colors or not. But I do think it's just added to the Pantone itself. I'm not sure. Ooh, this is too bright. And then a really nice gray. Okay, now I'm enjoying, oh, this might not work. Did you see this? Like this has like two very, very tiny cuts. So I might have to do a closed bow, because this tiny thing right here can make the pin very, very expensive. So I might have to change that. But I'll send them the designs and I'll let them know, like, can this be done without any extra costs? Do I have to change it? Always do a ton of questions, and if they send you the pricing, always asks why is it that pricing. It's because of certain characteristics of the pin itself. Can I change something to make it cheaper? You can always ask all these kind of things, but normally when they send you the pricing, they'll let you know, like for the screen printing it will be this, the mold will be this, and the pin itself will be this, so you know more or less what you're spending basically. I don't know if I'm enjoying this blue, but I'm not going to care too much about that because I'm going to have to choose the Pantone anyway. But I'm really enjoying the gold. I might do the eyes a little bit darker so that they don't look as dull. That might look a little bit better. And then we'll do the pink little nose. Cute. Okay, now I like it with the gold. And I think having the stars with gold, it's going to be very, very nice. The only thing is, like, they are mostly flat, but the gold part, it's a little bit more up on the pin, so the stars will be a little bit more, like the colors are slightly lower than the metal itself, because the colors are applied within the metal part. So the stars might be a little bit uneven, but I think with the glitter that will be nice. I have seen some people do amazing things with pins now, always something in manufacture. Yes, like my manufacturer doesn't do a lot of crazy things, but I've seen some people do like some pins that open, pins that spin, like fidget things, but as pins, like if you do want like more specific things, you can always ask, because I think they are always open to do something new as well. Especially if it's trendy, they will do something trendy. They can post on their portfolio and then get more clients to do that. But I would always ask if they can do certain things and maybe search for specific manufacturers if you are searching for something like that. I think this one might be a little bit bigger, kind of like this. Like being the same size as the mountain on the side, I think will be nice. Yep, I think this is the size. Again, I might have to change the line art because depending on the size, like this is an A3, so now the lines look thicker, but then when I do them smaller, they might be a little bit too thin, and then they can cause issues on the pins and the quality and having a lot of seconds. So I might have to change the line art to be a little bit thicker. But I always do that on Illustrator. I go on Illustrator, I create the vector files, and then I just change the line art accordingly. So I don't have to like redraw it over and over again. So yeah, I think this is a nice selection of pins so far. I really want to do the pigeon as well, so I think that is going to be the last one we are going to do. I would love to do this one, so I might have to choose between the stamp one and the bouquet of flower one, but I think this will be so cute. But I can't do them all, it'll be way too expensive. And then for this one, for the warm one, I would actually love to do a set of pins, like do them a little bit smaller, but then turn them into a set, like do the warm together with the tulip, together with a star, and do something like that, and maybe the little frog or something. We'll see how that goes, but I would love to do that. But I actually need to ask for the pricing first. I'll send them all, and then I'll get the pricing, and then, yeah. Is your manufacturer based in Europe? No, it's in China. That's the best part of like getting a manufacturer. You have so many, but they are mostly in China. And sometimes if you get a supplier or manufacturer in Europe, most of the times they are only a middleman. So basically you probably have less issues in production because there's a middleman, and then check the quality of the manufacturers and all of that, but you're going to are paying for a higher price because you think you are manufactured within Europe, but you are paying the middleman and then manufacturer in China. They will be shipped from Europe, but first they will be shipped from China to the supplier that you're using and all that. It can happen to have some suppliers in Europe, but I never found them. And yeah, I've been using the same one for years and years, and I'm super happy with them. I did use another one a few years ago for, like, they gifted me some pins, and some people complained that the metal parts started to rust. And this never happened with my manufacturer that I use now. So it can happen that you can find some suppliers and manufacturers within Europe, but make sure they are the manufacturers itself, because sometimes, most of the times, it's just a middleman and they are still produced in China. Are the fees very high? So you pay for the shipping. The shipping normally, it's the most expensive part. It goes from 50 to 100 or 200, 300, depending on the quantities that you are ordering, because it's by weight. Most of the time, some suppliers and manufacturers already can have VAT paid So that helps as well. Kind of like Vogue Race, you can select on the shipping options if you already have like the taxes paid, VAT, and all of that. If not, they will be get stuck in customs. You'll receive a letter. You'll pay for the VAT and all of that, customs fees and all of that, and that's it basically. So you always have to make sure like the price is low, because then when they get them like to Portugal or your country, you'll get extra plus 23% plus custom fees and all of that. So take that in consideration. But it's the same as ordering like from Vogue Race and other websites. But you can also, if you are very organized, you can ask if they have shipping by land or sea instead of airplane. It's going to be cheaper, but it's going to take months to arrive. But that's an option to make it cheaper as well. You typically request samples prior to placing big orders. No. For this manufacturer specifically, I did only one pin with them, only one design, and that was it. It was like my tryout. You can ask for samples, but the price that you're going to ask for a sample, it's going to kind of sometimes be the same price as producing the pin itself and do 50. So I just produced like one design, and now that I'm comfortable with them, I'm just going to order more designs at a time, basically. And you also pay for the mold, but the mold you only pay one time every like 2 or 3 years. Most manufacturers save your mold for 2 or 3 years. So I'm only going to pay a mold now, and I already did my berry pin maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. So that helps as well. The molds are kind of expensive, kind of cheap. It's like from 50 euros up, depending on the characteristics of your pin. But then you only pay it once. So if I now do this pins, like let's say I do the cat now, I pay 50 euros for the mold, but I won't pay for the mold for other 3 years. I only pay for the production itself. So now I'm going to pay for the mold plus the production and manufacturing of the pins, if that makes sense. I hope it's not too confusing. Gotta go, sadly. Take care, Bia. Have a great life. Thank you. Okay, let's do the pigeon. I've just been chit-chatting over here. Because the pigeon, I know for sure that I want to do it. So this was my big goal. It was the capybara, the tulips, the cat, and the pigeon. Everything else is just going to be like a nice add-on. But with the mountain restock and the berry and maybe the frog, it'll be a lot already, so I might have to wait a little longer to do more pins. So yeah, I think I'm just going to reuse this. Yeah, I think so. Because I had to do a file with line art for my coasters. So I think I'm just going to reuse this line art. It's a little bit thicker for my liking, but I can always change it later. I'm just going to have to grab some pigeon colors. Where's the pigeons? Okay. Let's just save this or just copy it. I promise making pins, it's not as scary as it might look or sound. It's a lot of to get into it, but once you start to see like the materials and all of that, it's just very, very easy, and it's always the same kind of process. So it's not as hard as it looks, I guess. But yeah, it's an investment and it's expensive, and I think I wouldn't do like 3 or 4 designs at a time. I would do just one as a tryout, and that's what I did with my berry. And now I know like online pins for me don't sell that much, also because I have the same pins for like 4 years or something, so that doesn't help. But I think they sell a lot better at markets. So now that I know that I have more sales at markets, like on the last one that I did, a lot of people were like, oh, you only have this ones? And I was like, yeah, sorry. Like they wanted more like the cat or the pigeon or something like that. So it was quite sad. But now that I know that people have that interest, I'm more comfortable at making new designs. So yeah, I kind of like the eye like this. So I might leave it like that. Oh, this will be a nice one to have it with the dégradé thing. I might look into that. Like it would be so pretty to have like a thing going, like from these colors to others. I think it will be so cute. Should I add the eye? Maybe. So it's just a nice extra color. Yeah, I think that'll be a nice extra with some color, you know? Yep. Oh, I'm not enjoying this. Should it be more like pastel-y? Because the thing I love about my pigeon, it's the different colors. So I don't know what to feel about this. Okay, I might ask if how expensive would it be to do the little going from like the blue hat. Wait, I can maybe do that. Let's see. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can use these little things. Why is it not working? Hello? Oh, I have to put this one on top, I think. Yep. Okay, now it should work. Kind of like this. So this will be like the blue. You know? I really like to do it, but I don't have the method to get them yet. Yeah, that's why I postponed it for so much. Like I had the goal of some of the profits that I was going to have from the conventions and the markets that I did at the beginning of the year would be to invest in pins. So that's what I'm doing. I'm fulfilling my word to myself because I've been wanting to do them for so long. But yeah, they are very, very expensive. And I know that probably I won't be able to do all of these. So I'm going to have to choose them eventually because this is going to be like, I don't know, 600, 700 euros of investment. So I might have to reduce it and do it a little bit less. Which iPad do you recommend for art? I'm really overwhelmed. Thank you. So if you never use them, and for years I used the cheaper iPad that you could have. If you have the budget, you can always like order a different one. But if you don't, I would go for the cheaper one, to be honest. It's more than enough. It's like you can't use as many layers and stuff, but if you are starting out, it's actually more than enough. And I only changed it to the iPad Pro when I was doing an Illustrator project that I was feeling very, very frustrated about the amount of layers that I could use, and that was the only reason why I changed it. So yeah, I have the iPad Pro now, and I love it so much. I'm very, very happy that I did the upgrade, but for years and years, the cheaper iPad, it wasn't even the Air or anything. They had like a cheaper iPad. I'm not sure which ones they have right now, but it was more than enough for me. So maybe that would help, because I don't think it's worth it if you don't even like know if you want to use it or not, if you are going to like it or not. iPads, it's something that they don't lose a lot of value, so you can always like get a cheaper one and then upgrade in the future, because you'll be able to sell it super easily. So that's maybe my tip. If you already are like a full-on professional, if you have experience with art, digital art, and you want like a very good machine that you can use a lot of layers and be totally comfortable, and if you have the budget, I would go for the iPad Pro for sure. But if you have a tiny budget, you're only starting out, you only want to like experience with digital art, you are not sure if you like it or not, I would go to the cheaper one. Yeah. I started with the Samsung one and it was great. That's another option as well. Or even get like a second-hand one. There's so many out there that people mostly sell them because they want to upgrade. Most of the times it's not because they have some issues or anything. So there's a lot of tablets and iPads out there that you can buy secondhand and not go for such a high-end budget. And there's now a lot of websites that also sell them secondhand, which is a little bit safer than to get them from a random person. So yeah. But now I upgraded to the iPad Air. Yay! The iPad Air, I think it's the one similar to the one that I had. Mine was the 9.8 or 10 point something. I'm not sure. It was like a very old one. But now with the M1 chip and all that, I think they are all great. So yeah, it's also a big difference. Okay, I like the pigeon. I think I like it a lot more like this than how it was. I'm happy with it. I might do this a little bit darker. Kind of like this. Maybe this a little bit lighter. So is this. Again, I'm just playing around with colors. I'm not sure how they are going to look in the end because Pantone colors are very limited. So, oh, I'm liking this little pin selection. I've been like procrastinating doing these pins for so long. That's why I was like, I'm just going to do them on a live. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep procrastinating and not doing them. So I'm glad I did them on the live. So the idea, these were like the base 4 that I really wanted to do right now. I wanted to do the shark as well, but I don't think I'll have the budget for that right now. So I might do that later. I really want to do this one as well. I might try it out and then decide if I get this one or the bouquet one, but I think the bouquet one will be a lot prettier with as like a lapel pin or something. And I still want to redraw the little berry, and I want to do these mini pins and see the pricing for that as well. But for now, I think this already looks great, and it's going to be already super expensive. So I'm super happy with it. We can color this in, so this will be this with the little tulip. So I was thinking the worm to be a little bit bigger, and then do a little star. And maybe some books, but I don't want this book, so we'll do that later. So the star will be all gold. I always leave the reference on, and then it doesn't work. So this will be all gold like this. Then we have the little tulip. And we'll do it like with a red. And some green. Maybe a lighter green. Like this. And then we would have the worm. That it would be red. Might have to pick up the colors from the worm. And this part would actually be pink. So kind of like this. I have to do the line arts a little bit more perfectly. I just want to finish this one with you as well. And then I'm going to do the same for the eye as well. And we're going to probably do it with brown. Yeah, that looks cute. Cute. I don't really like this red. Something like this. I think it will be super cute. And then I'm not sure if the frog will be a mini pin as well, but I think that will be super cute. Hello, Bia. Alainish. Love your sweater. Thank you. Every time I wear this sweater on a live, everyone always gives so much compliments. I bought it on Vinted like years and years ago, and it's still one of my favorite sweaters. I love it so much. And it's actually vintage, like very vintage. Mine, I think it's the M3. Oh, now. That is nice. They are mine, it's the M1. My computer, it's also the M1, and they are already so good. So I'm very curious to now buy a new computer and see how much they changed and evolved. So yeah, very excited about that. Should we do this pink? Trying to find, it doesn't matter finding the perfect red actually, because as I said, we're going to have to change it anyway because of the Pantones. So anyway, this is the result for today. This is the pins that we made. I'm not sure if this is going to happen or not. I'm also going to do the little frog. I don't think I'm restocking this frog right here. It's an old drawing, so I really want to redo the pins with my new illustrations and stuff. The only old one that I'm going to be doing is the mountains, because it's still a bestseller and it's still one of my favorite pins. I love it so much. So yeah, this is the final result. I'm super happy with it. Okay, let me try to show you a little bit better. So these are the pins. We have the capybara, the tulips, the magic cat. I love how the pigeon turned out. I'm super happy that I did it like this, because I wasn't enjoying the same color all over the same pin. And then we'll see about this one and the frog. But yeah, I'm super happy with the final result. Yay! We finally did it. We finally did new pins. I'm happy. I'll probably do a video, like a more maybe updated tutorial about how I do pins, everything that we talked about on this live. And I'll look into the glitter thing, if it's specific colors or if they just added to the Pantone or not. So I'm going to answer that in that video, I think. So yeah, at least this live was also nice to answer your questions. The flowers are my favorite, so beautiful. Thank you. I've been wanting to do this pin. This pin has been in my head for so long, and now that I know that people love the tulips and the keychain and all that, I can't wait to do the pin. I think they'll be very pretty, especially with the bow in gold. And if they can do the indentations in the gold, I think it will be perfect, because without it, it might get a little bit lost with the bow thing, but super happy with them. I need to add some more to add to my bag. Yay! We'll do a little pin collection. They're so cute. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to turn off the live now. I have other things to do, but I think I'm going to send these. I think I'm just going to do the tiny frog, and then I'm going to send this to my manufacturer, because they are in China, so sometimes communication could be a little bit delayed because of the time zones and everything. He always answers me at like 4, 5 a.m. So I try to send it as soon as possible, so that the next day I have an answer from them. Carnation will be super cool. Ooh. I'm actually working on t-shirts, but pins might be very cool, but next year, because they won't arrive on time. So yeah, oh, that's sad. That'll be a nice one for next year, I think, because production always takes like 3-4 weeks. So I'm doing the pins now so that I have them for conventions in May. So they won't arrive on time with the changes and colors and all of that. But next year, that's a very nice idea. Okay, I'm going to turn off the live now. I've been chatting for almost 2 hours. Oh my god. And with so many tech issues and all of that. Anyway, thank you so much for being on the live with me and chatting and keeping me company while I finally did some new pins. I'm so happy with them, especially with the cat. I think with the glitter and the stars with gold, I think it's going to be so cute. Super happy with them, and I'm happy that I finally did them. I'm going to have more pins. Yay! Okay, I'm going to turn off now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week for another live. So yeah, bye everyone.